Hey, what's up, CST Army? I'm used to the camera being there. What's up, CST Army? It is Steve, along with I got three other guys down here. I'll introduce them in just a moment. But what we're gonna do here today is we're gonna shoot the shit, and we're gonna talk about our March Madness brackets, how they are so far. We got the top 64 actors, top 64 actresses. Put them in a single elimination bracket, and we're you guys are voting. We have our own votes in there too, but our vote doesn't count any more than you guys. So without further ado, I got Kyle to my left.
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on here?
I'm here.
Big Bert, not Big Bird. Big Bert right below me. What's up, Bert? How's it going?
Cheers. Good.
Cheers. Oh, speaking of cheers, I almost ruined the whole damn thing. It's like Will Smith and Independence Day with the cigar. I almost ruined the whole damn show here. And of course, right diagonal, down there somewhere. I'm too close. Down that way. Timmy, I hate Jenny Gump Tabala.
Essential, baby. Essential.
He's an essential. So Tim is, we've talked about this on the show. This is the fourth show that we did this week. We had a Shootin' the Shit on Monday. We had a Just Too Sweet show on Tuesday. We had Put in the Books on Wednesday. And then today, Shootin' the Shit again, bracket time. You guys, we're all missing our March Madness brackets, but we have two brackets going on the site. This one here being the all-encompassing one, and then we have the bracket that we are voting on in the coming weeks on the Just Too Sweet show. Timmy is essential to New York City, and everybody else is essential to CineSportsTalk.com. So let's get this started here. First of all, we got to talk about how everybody's doing. Okay, we can't just jump right in. We're now, I don't know how many days into quarantine. There's only a few states that are locked down. It's not even all the counties down here in South Florida. Kyle, Palm Beach is not doing this yet, right?
Palm Beach isn't, Indian River's not, Martin's not. I mean, I don't know what's going on in South Florida right now or in Florida in general, because I feel like the entire state should be shut down right now. But for some reason, our governor is still unwilling to do that when there's other states that have a lot less cases than we do and they've already shut down. So I don't get it. I don't want to get too political, but at the same time, I really feel like if we want this thing to end as fast as possible, just do the entire country, 14 days. And then there'll definitely be a lot better by then. It's not going to be gone, but it's going to be a lot better by then.
Yeah, give everybody a chance to just catch up.
Yeah,
it's just nuts, especially like New York. The New York governor is, I think, without getting political, is doing a pretty good job. I think, from an outside looking in. Of course, his hands are tied, right? To a certain extent, because he is just the governor. Bert, how's it going? Well, you're not down in Miami anymore. You're still in Broward. You're back in Broward. You're up in Broward.
Yeah, I'm in Hollywood.
Hollywood.
I am in South Hollywood. Yeah, I mean, down here to just give us just go out for essential things, or if you need to get food or whatever. But I mean, I don't know. If they really want to enforce it, I know Miami Gardens, they just said they're going to enforce a curfew now. Like literally they just that news broke a few hours ago. But it really depends. I mean, I don't know. Well, they gotta do the best that they can to limit this,
Yeah, you gotta still be able to go out and get your food and essential stuff. And you still gotta go out and so it's exercise, it's supermarket, and it's work if you're an essential employee, which there are more essential employees than I think that we need, and Tim can attest to that.
Amen.
All right, so let's get to our brackets. Scott is supposed to be joining us at some point. It seems as though Australian internet is not worthwhile. Maybe a kangaroo chew through his cord, or I'm not really sure what's going on there.
Interesting.
Tell me how I was about to say that. That's crazy.
You do enough shows together, it starts happening up here.
That's what happens.
Bert, don't get in my head, bro. All right, look. All right, so Kyle came up with the idea of getting a couple brackets together, women and male. So we got actors and actresses. And we go through in the CineSports Talk group where you are potentially watching right now, and you vote. So Kyle's been putting up the polls for you guys to vote in, for us to vote in, and we've narrowed it down to 32 now, right, Kyle?
Yep, round of 64 was completed last week. We had 8 play-in matchups.
Do we have before you continue? Do we have anybody that we potentially missed and that we need to, because they're watching right now? Is there anybody that you want to look? I mean, it's all of us, because you sent us your rankings, and then we agreed or disagreed. We wanted to add people, and whatnot, and so it's all of us. So on behalf of CineSports Talk, do you want to apologize?
Well, like you said, I just showed you guys a big list of actors and actresses on both sides, and I said, "Is there anyone I'm missing? Who am I not thinking of right now?" And then I had to cut that huge list to 32 for each side. So people didn't make the cut. If you notice, there's no Ryan Reynolds or Ryan Gosling on there. There's the big one that Scott just pointed out the other day that I'm heartbroken over. That one didn't really affect me. It was Mahershala Ali. The guy's won 2 Oscars out of the past 3 years, and it sucks that he definitely would have made the list. There's not a doubt about it. But the criteria that went into it was I had to pick 32. And they had to be living, first of all, and working. So they can't be retired. So that took out your Daniel Day-Lewis's, your Robert Redfords, your Jack Nicholson's. And relevancy was a big thing for me. Because at the same time, when we're making these brackets, we also want to make it inclusive for people. So I could put a Sidney Poitier on there, but that's not going to entice people to come vote in the tournament, So that's why you don't see some of the older name actors on there. There are some older name actors on there, but not as many as you would hope for your classic people. So that's where the rankings came in. And then from there, I did the seeding based off of popularity, career achievements, just how big I think they would be. And if sometimes they're a big name actor and they've fallen really far. But I did the seeding as best as I could, and I hope they turned out well for you guys.
This was the definitive list, as Kyle likes to say.
Yes, definitive.
Definitive list.
All right, so
definitive list.
Why don't you you want to talk about some of the play-in matches that we had internally?
Yeah, so at the beginning we had there was tough cuts to get there, and these were for the 16 and 15 seeds. We had a matchup like Hugh Jackman versus Daniel Craig. Like these are 2 16 seeds going at each other right now, and they're big name actors. So James Bond versus Wolverine, I thought that was a tough one, but I'm pretty sure Jackman won that one pretty handily. And then we also have a matchup like Tessa Thompson was going against who was the big name actress she was going against? But she won her matchup. We also had like Jennifer Lawrence beat someone to get in there. And Tilda Swinton and Octavia Spencer went at it. That was a weird one to have to throw. Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth was a play-in matchup.
That was rough.
In there.
That caused a lot of controversy.
There was controversy. And then there's like Adam Driver versus Jamie Foxx. That was another one we had to play in. So Tom Hardy had to play to get himself in. So there was a lot of cuts that had to happen, and they were rough as we went down the list.
Yeah, for sure. Bert, do you see any surprises? Have you seen any surprises? Like, I think I've seen you vote a couple of times, and I maybe all of us. Tim, I think you also voted, and your guy or gal got just smoked. Which was it for you, Tim?
Rest in peace, Sam Elliott, my man.
Sam Elliott. He's out.
One of my favorite actors of all time. What are you gonna do? Some people don't understand the American. Like I bet he smells like leather. Like I bet Sam Elliott smells like he smells like American to me. He lost. I'll accept it. I'll move on.
All right, Bert. What about you?
For me, it was probably Daniel Craig.
And who did he?
I was surprised at how he went against Hugh Jackman, but I was surprised at how lopsided it was, which is crazy because outside of his Wolverine films like Logan, you take away those, he really only has maybe Les Miserables, Prisoners. Because a lot of movies he has, like he does well in them, but they're not necessarily memorable.
The greatest.
But Daniel Craig on the other hand, I'm saying, but Daniel Craig on the other hand, in terms of relevancy, I feel like now, because of Knives Out, No Time to Die, even the movie he did with Soderbergh, what was it? Logan Lucky, that was good. So for me, I was surprised a little bit that it was just that widespread. I didn't know that it was going to be that separate in the voting. I figured, I know a lot of people enjoyed Knives Out, and that was a really popular movie last year.
All right, so let's skip the round of 64. What has transpired? I want to talk about what's coming up. So, Kyle, when do we move on to the next round officially? Is it tomorrow or is it?
My plan was to start Monday and do Monday through Thursday. I'm going to put up 4 matchups a day for Monday through Thursday. And that's going to get us through the round of 32, just so it's not overcrowded like it was last week. But also, it is March Madness. So one of the best things about March Madness is that first week when you're turning on the TV, you can flip back and forth between 2 to 3 games at a time, and then they never end until 12 at night. So that's what I love about it, and I think this kind of reflected a little bit. But now that the tournament's catching on, when the polls go up, I hope to see more polling numbers next week.
Yeah, I think we will. Tim, your boy Bunker I think he's the most disappointed out of anybody on my Facebook feed. Every day about March Madness. He's a Duke guy, right?
Yeah, he's a Duke guy, and he's a huge college basketball fan.
Yeah,
he lives for it. So yeah, I kind of feel bad. I feel bad for him.
It's a rough time. Yeah, it's a rough time for him. But and that's in a case that you can start looking at some of the classic matchups of all time. College basketball always seems to be buzzer beater after buzzer beater after buzzer beater. It's probably the most excited, crammed in sporting event that there is. It's just insane, and it's not crazy to expect a buzzer beater every single game, no matter the seeding.
No.
All right. So let's get into what is coming up. So Kyle, I'm going to be reading from your list here. There are a few that I have no idea what you wrote there. So I'm going to ask for a little bit of help in some spots. So we'll start top left. You got a 1 seed coming up. So this is all Monday, guys. So you're going to make sure you start getting your votes in as of Monday. Like Kyle said, 4 matchups per day, Monday through Thursday. Then we'll do another one of these shows to kind of digest the week's results.
Yep.
And then we'll continue forward. So these are some pretty damn good matchups coming up. So some of these are going to be like, oh, shit, I got to vote between these two.
The first one's insane, right?
The first one, Tom Hanks, which I watched Castaway the other night because that's one of the movies that I want to one of the potential start-off movies that I want to do with our rewatchable show. What is it? Be Kind Rewind or whatever we decide to name it. So I watched that with my son, and Tom Hanks is a safe bet for for kids to watch, even if it's PG-13, because it's a Tom Hanks movie. Nothing much happens sexually or cursing wise. So we got Tom Hanks at a 1 seed versus Al Pacino at the 9 seed. How the hell?
Wow.
That's the way it panned out. Not so recently did Al Pacino really make a comeback. This is where the relevancy comes into play because, he had The Irishman and Hunters and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood this past year. But then before that, he had been kind of quiet for a little bit. So that's why he's not as high up as you would think. Yeah, his career is amazing, but it's more about the relevancy thing, like I said again. When I was making these, Tom Hanks was, to me, the only clear seeding. Like, okay, yeah, this guy's going to be the number 1 overall seed no matter what. And then there was a fight for the other number 1 seed, which we'll get to eventually. But Tom Hanks had to beat Hugh Jackman to get in here, and Al Pacino had to beat Kurt Russell to get in here. So what do you guys think about this matchup?
It's a rough one for me, but I decided real early on that Tom Hanks is my guy. Tom had. I mean, Denzel is real close for me, and we'll talk about him later on because he's got an interesting matchup in this round also. But for me, Tom Hanks got to be like that stretch of movies where it involved Castaway and The Green Mile, all that bundled up. Toy Story, that it was like a 9-year stretch where he did like 10 to 12 movies and none of them were bad.
No.
And so for me, longevity, relevant. I mean, he's relevant to this day. He's still making really good movies. So it's Tom Hanks for me. That's a sneak peek into my vote.
I mean, listen, we can all reveal our votes here whenever we're doing this because I know there's going to be a lot more that go into it. But I think it's funny that these two classic actors that you can say now are going against each other just in the second round of this tournament. So that's just how crazy these seedings came into play. I mean,
and he just beat the coronavirus. Got to vote for him.
Exactly. And I mean,
he did it for America.
Al Pacino beat another classic actor in Kurt Russell.
#Hanks.
So, yeah, Hanks.
He doesn't say thanks. He said Hanks.
Yeah, Hanks.
Perfect.
All right, so who's everybody voting for? So I'm Tom Hanks. Bert, who you got?
I'm going Godfather. Got to go Pacino.
All right, Timmy.
I have to go Pacino.
I'm probably gonna wait till Monday to figure this one out.
Yeah, I saw the angst on your face.
Well, like you're saying, relevancy is going to play a huge part because you're talking about a stretch. Don't forget, Pacino had 2 Godfathers.
Yep. Dog
Day Afternoon.
Huh?
What was the other one? All in 5 years, he had these movies that are just completely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait till Monday. It's gonna be the last one to vote. It's gonna be. I'm gonna have to dig deep for that one.
You might see like nobody else is voting, and you see one adding to Hanks and then one going back to Pacino. That's Tim switching his vote.
Yeah.
Back and forth.
Well, I just watched Forrest Gump too. That's why I have my I Hate Jenny Gump name down here. I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be my last vote Monday.
All right.
Well, that's the fun thing about this tournament is that the seeding is where the relevancy came into place. But once the poll's out there, this is anyone's preference. You can make your criteria wherever you want. You can say who's the better actor, who's your more favorite actor. There's so many different ways you can vote about it. So it's just up to the individual.
Right, and it's interesting that it could just boil down to I don't like this person.
Yeah,
and I'm not voting for him.
I'm sure that's what's been happening for some people.
Yeah,
it might
certainly has.
It might come down to something like, well, Tom Hanks did Bosom Buddies. I like Bosom Buddies. Right. I might have to go Tom Hanks because of Bosom Buddies alone. I don't know yet. I'll figure it out Monday.
Well, the thing about the whole liking someone or not liking someone, I think played into the next matchup about why there was an upset that happened in this next matchup. If you want to get to that, Steve, I think that the likability factor played in there.
It did for sure, as Woody Harrelson, who was a 12 seed, knocked out Joaquin Phoenix, who was a 5 seed. And so Woody Harrelson's going to be going up against Christian Bale,
yes,
who beat Matthew McConaughey. All right. He beat him the first round.
All right.
I was honestly surprised by the Woody knockout. I know Woody's beloved, but I thought Joaquin Phoenix would be riding that Joker high right now into the next round, maybe into the next round after that. So I'm surprised he got knocked out so early. And it wasn't close either. If you look back at the polls, Woody handled Joaquin Phoenix. So this is a fun matchup now. Christian Bale versus Woody Harrelson.
Yeah. Yeah. I got to go with my...
I'm not a Joaquin
It's tough, man.
I'm not a Joaquin Phoenix guy, so I voted Woody. He's a little too out there for me, a little too weird, a little too... I don't know. The Joker, of course, he was fantastic. I'll give him his props for that movie.
It was the cow speech.
He was never really. Forget his speech. I was cursing at his speech. I was throwing stuff at my TV. I was probably sitting, shut up with this stuff already. I couldn't stand his speech. But next round's going to be a good one too.
Yeah. So let's go round robin, Kyle. Christian Bale or Woody Harrelson?
I love Woody Harrelson, but Christian Bale is probably one of the more underrated actors out there because he's like top notch. He gives a classic performance in almost anything he does. And like I just rewatched American Psycho the other day. That movie's haunting to see how he reacts in that. And then he could go from something like that to Vice, where he plays Dick Cheney, he's looking huge, or The Machinist, where he's super skinny, and Ford v Ferrari, and The Dark Knight, all these things. So to me, Christian Bale, I'd easily take Christian Bale over Woody Harrelson in this next round.
Timmy, what you got?
Yeah, same exact reasons. Christian Bale, he'll do anything to the role. He'll lose 1,000 pounds, he'll gain 1,000 pounds. He'll do what he needs to do to make a role great. So I'm going Christian Bale also.
Yeah.
Bert?
And I'm going Bale too. I mean, Bale, you can argue pound for pound is probably the best actor working today. Christian Bale. Even though he disappears into some of his roles sometimes for, good reasoning. He doesn't really get, like Kyle said, the recognition that he deserves. But I mean, I love Woody too, but Bale is just on another level in terms of the movies he's done and the performances he puts on. Yeah.
Look, I think Kyle took a little exception to what you just said about Bale.
No, I heard the baby crying and I kind of lost focus.
Oh,
sorry.
My baby's where's somebody else has a baby?
Stop.
Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Let's take this opportunity because Bert is in a different room right now, different background than he was during the Just Too Sweet show. Are you in the same location as you were during the Just Too Sweet show?
I'm in my house. The other time I was at my friend's house.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I was at my girlfriend's house.
You were at your girlfriend's house. That's
Yes.
good. See, we're not practicing social distancing.
Really?
Oh boy.
Hey man, I'm getting like so crazy.
Is this where the run ends for Woody Harrelson, the 12 seed? Is this where the 12 seed gets knocked out? Had a good in the first round.
Yeah, I mean my favorite white basketball player of all time. I think he's gonna get knocked out. I think we could.
Billy Hoyle.
I'm not wearing hockey pads. Gets moves up to the next round. All right, let's continue with the men's bracket. You have Jeff Bridges, who came out on top of Josh Brolin, and then Steve Carell, who came out on top of George Clooney, which was a big upset per the ranks. So Bridges did what he was supposed to do in that round, and then it was Steve Carell, a 14 seed, upsetting a number 3 seed in George Clooney. Kyle, what's up with that?
I don't know. Steve Carell, it's the Office people. That's exactly what it is. Because, like I said, the rankings come into it with the relevancy, but it's all about likability after that and relevancy. And Steve Carell is on everyone's TV. Every person under age of 30 has Steve Carell on their TV, probably at least once a day. And I think that's where it came into play. You don't see George Clooney a lot on TV, even though he's done he's the highest paid actor in Hollywood, and he's probably like one of the most respected actors of all time. So that's why Clooney was so high, but he could have easily been a 1 seed, but he dropped down to 3 because he really hasn't done too much in a little bit, but some of his best stuff is amazing.
I'm gonna say that my sister up in Jersey probably voted for Clooney. It's just a hunch there. She loved George Clooney back in the day. What was the show that he was on? The hospital show.
ER, yeah.
General Hospital, ER.
No, hospital, but ER. And then she was a front. She used to love Kevin Elster, who was on the Mets, but then Derek Jeter came along, and then she became a Yankee fan. All right. And then so Steve Carell, you're right. So all the Office people are clearly voting for Steve Carell. And then even up to now, he was pretty damn brilliant in the morning show. I don't know if you guys watched that on Apple TV Plus. But he was pretty damn amazing in that show also, as was Jennifer Aniston. All right, so Jeff Bridges versus Steve Carell come Monday. Timmy, who you got?
I'm gonna go Jeff Bridges on that one. I did vote Steve Carell last round, because Kyle said Clooney. I haven't seen him recently. What has he been doing?
Yeah,
where's he been? That's probably why. And like you said, Steve Carell is everywhere. He's also one of my favorite.
He's been fighting social justice.
Yeah, exactly. Another guy who needs to shut up. He's also my favorite comedy, Anchorman. He's also in this. He's in that. That's why I voted for him. But now, Bridges is Bridges, man. I love me some Jeff Bridges, so I'm taking him for the win.
All right, just a reminder to you guys, the scrolling that's all the way at the bottom where it says click the StreamYard link in the description of the video. If you're watching in a Facebook group, so for example, we won't be able to see who is commenting what if you haven't clicked on that link and authorized the app. So so somebody who said both are iconic, but Pacino, that's my dude. Going back to the Pacino Hanks matchup, we can see what you're saying, but I don't know who you are, so I can't give you any credit for saying a good statement. Although you're going to be rooting for the loser, I'll make sure of it. I'll be like a whip in the Senate, getting up votes for my boy Hanks.
Oh my gosh!
All right, Bert, Carell, or Bridges?
I have to go Jeff Bridges on this round. Yeah. No, I recently rewatched Hell or High Water. Yeah, man. I mean, his performance, it's just something about the way he acts. It's so like he's so like calming, but like at the same time, depending on the role, like he's like in Hell or High Water, like what he's doing is, he's being a cop, but he's not being like the traditional kind of cop in that situation. Like he's so like, forgiving and understanding, but also like knows what it has to done to get the job done. But yeah, I mean, Bridges for me is like one of those actors that he's on another level too, and every performance he does.
Yeah. So yeah, I love Jeff Bridges, and right now I'm in the middle of watching the entire Office series. So Steve Carell is what's on my mind right now. Steve Carell is getting my vote, and I'm in the middle of the episode where he's about ready to go, and I don't know if you guys have watched The Office, spoiler alert, but the episode where he's about to go and he actually tells everybody, tomorrow's my last day, but he's actually leaving that day. So I'm cut right in the middle of the episode because baby got hungry, and that's my life right now. So I'm gonna go with Carell in the upset. Kyle.
Wow.
So here's what I think is going to happen. I love Jeff Bridges. Jeff Bridges was in one of the best movies of these past couple of years, Bad Times at El Royale. Love that movie, and I think he's the best part. Bert, that was an interesting Jeff Bridges accent you did there. To me, he's got kind of a more higher pitched accent. Where he's like, that's how Jeff Bridges talks. But I would vote Bridges, but I'm going to tell you, I think Steve Carell is going to run away with this thing.
Yes.
I think he's going to crush the poll. So not in that sense, but I think he's going to win this pretty easily. I also want to point out that this matchup is actually going to be Tuesday's matchup because we're going to have two men, 2 women matchups each day. So, okay. But we'll get back to that. But yeah, at the same time, I'm going to vote Bridges, but I think Steve Carell is about to run away with this.
Bridges is also one of my favorite fictional musical heroes. Bad Blake, Crazy Heart. I love that soundtrack. I thought he was phenomenal as Bad Blake. So it's I have that soundtrack. I listen to it all the time. It's fantastic. So that's why I'm going with Bridges.
I think Steve Carell also is one of the more fascinating careers in Hollywood right now. To go from like the #1 comedic actor out there right now. Yeah, like 40-Year-Old Virgin and doing all these Anchorman and all these comedies, and then just to do a complete 180 and go out there.
Kelly Clarkson.
Just to go somewhere with like Foxcatcher and Vice and what was The Beautiful Boy, all these like, dramatic roles, and even his morning show, like you said, I'm pretty sure that's a dramatic show for him. So to me, he's got an Oscar in his future, but he's not better than Bridges yet.
Yeah, the morning show is a pretty damn intense show. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. Anyway, it was pretty damn good. Have any of you seen it?
Not yet.
No. All right. Try to figure out a way to check that out.
That's Apple TV, right?
That's Apple TV. Yeah.
Free trial, baby.
Free trial. Knock it out. That's it. Every episode is great. I don't have many any complaints that I would have or nitpicks, but it's relevant. It's the Me Too stuff. It's the it's like Matt Lauer, basically that kind of thing, and it was relevant for the time that it came out, and it's just really good. All right, so let's move it along to what would be the next matchup is Robert Downey Jr., who really put a whooping on Will Smith. I felt bad for Will Smith. That's my boy.
He got crushed.
Right.
Yeah.
He got crushed.
I feel really bad, and I feel like a lot of people held Wild Wild
baby.
West way too harshly against him. He admits that he messed up. All right, let the man get past it. And so it's either that or a lot of people are jealous that he's worked with Margot Robbie a lot. I don't know what it is. So Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man advances, and he's got one hell of a matchup this week, and it's De Niro, Robert Downey Jr.
It's the Bobs.
The Bob versus Bob. Robert Downey Jr. versus Robert De Niro. Quickly, don't do that face, Bert. No, you're not doing it. Don't do it. All right, all right, Bert. Who you got? Obviously, you got De Niro.
A little bit.
Actually, I have only because of the popularity, like we talked about with Steve Carell in The Office. I think Robert Downey Jr.
Okay.
I think but depending on how the group chooses, I think it's going to be. I would vote for Bob. I mean for Robert Downey for De Niro, but I think it's going to be Robert Downey Jr. They have one name. That's crazy.
Bert just had a mini stroke. All right.
So I'll go for Bob or for.
Yeah, we got it. Thanks.
That should be a fine. Get out of here.
$2 out of here.
Oh man. To me, Robert Downey Jr. versus Robert De Niro. Like I kind of agree with Bert in a way. I'm pretty sure.
Headphones.
Actually, you know what? Your headphones. I think this is gonna be a close matchup. I think you're gonna see the two age gaps kind of come in this, and you're gonna see the more recent people vote for Downey Jr., but the people have been watching for a long time with De Niro, and it's gonna be pretty close. Who would I vote for? I mean, it's tough. It's really tough because I love both these guys, but Doolittle's in my mind right now, and I don't know how to feel about that.
No, so you're voting De Niro.
I'm undecided.
All right.
Well, Downey Jr. is I'm old enough for both of them. Downey for me goes way back. I'm talking Weird Science back. So I'll account for all that. Mm-hmm. But first of all, Steve, Will Smith lost because what has Will Smith really done at all that's been good lately?
Nothing. Nothing. Hey, Focus was pretty. I love Focus.
He was
Bad Boys for Life.
Almost all those movies have been.
Bad Boys for Life. Come on. Where's Jader? Jader, a little help here.
No, but
please.
I'm gonna go De Niro. I'm going De Niro no matter what over this one. I do like Downey a lot, but De Niro's De Niro. You know, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I think I'm the same way. This is a really tough matchup for me. I think as of right now, I'm going De Niro. Gotta go De Niro. All right. Next up was a whooping, and this is the other number one seed I think that you were talking about earlier, Kyle. So it was Adam Driver, it's the 16 seed, heading up against Leonardo DiCaprio, and he put a hurting on Adam Driver, and he's gonna go up against Harrison Ford. Is that Gary Oldman?
Yep.
Okay. So Harrison Ford comes out on top. He is what lies beneath right now.
Hey, how about that?
All right, so why don't you, Kyle, briefly talk about what the deal was with the Leonardo DiCaprio stuff?
I mean, DiCaprio. So it was between DiCaprio and the two seeds that were fighting for the number one spot, and maybe one of the 3 seeds. But I ultimately put DiCaprio at number one because to me, when has he ever put in a bad performance? I mean, I've seen De Niro do Dirty Grandpa before, and I've seen. We'll see. Well, I don't want to reveal the other 2 seed yet, but they've done not all great movies, but DiCaprio every single time is just like a monster in these films. And then with most recently, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, he did amazing work in that, and he kind of got overlooked because the co-star Brad Pitt took the spotlight. Yeah. So to me, it was easy. It was kind of easy at narrowing it down to DiCaprio.
Tim hated that movie. Have you gone back to rewatch?
I have it on my DVR right now.
Okay.
There's 2 movies I'm watching. That and Bad Times at El Royale. I'll be watching tonight.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna give Once Upon a Time a shot again. Maybe I was tired. Maybe I was in a bad mood. I don't know what was going on.
All right,
I
perfect.
hated that movie.
He did. We spoke about that early and often. That movie. There you go, Jader. Bad Boys for Life. Yeah. Jader comes through in the clutch. All right, look.
Yeah, go ahead.
For me, Leonardo DiCaprio, I like banished him from my life after
Titanic.
Beach.
Oh, the Peach.
No, oh my God, The Beach. The Beach was so awful. It was such a terrible movie. I could not even look at Leonardo DiCaprio. I didn't watch Titanic for 5 years after it came out. and little known secret that I'm sharing to the millions and millions watching right now on live TV. That the only reason I watched Titanic was because Mikey, who you guys all know from the site, Scott's brother, said that there's boobs, so I watched it. I was young.
Those boobs got knocked out too.
Boobs are out. Oh, yeah. Jader says also F Jenny Gump. This is not the nobodies. We're about. Hold on, the nobodies have disappeared off the face of the earth. Where the hell are the nobodies at? The Beach. You hate that movie. So that was it for me. All right. So
I want to cut to the chase. I'm pretty sure DiCaprio is going to crush Harrison Ford in this round.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be close.
Get off my plane.
Yeah, you got your Han Solo. Yeah, you got your Rick Deckard, and you got Indiana Jones.
Plane.
Yeah, that's another guy that I left off. As Clint Eastwood, but DiCaprio is just a monster, and there's a reason why he's the number 1 seed. And I think it's gonna be a little while until someone really gives him a competition.
Yeah, I can see it happening. I'm gearing up for it. That final in the men's round. But all right, we all agree that Leo is going to win this thing?
10 years ago, I would have said no.
He's going to.
But yeah,
He's going against Harrison.
I'm a massive Harrison Ford guy.
Oh yeah.
But Leo, it took me a long time to get on board with him. I know he's good. I know what he does is great. I think Django really, wow, this dude can act. I didn't like the fact that he protested the Oscars the year of the Titanic. Maybe he was not going because he wasn't nominated. Guess what? He didn't deserve to be nominated that year. Everyone else in that movie was better than him. Everyone. Even the butler was better than him in that movie. So it took me a long time to get on board with Leo, but yeah, I'm on board with him now. And as much as it hurts to go against my man Han Solo, I'm going to go Leo also.
Jader says I have 3 words on why Jackman beat Craig, Kate, and Leopold.
Oh yeah.
No, that was directed to you, Bert. All right, Bert, who you got? I think you got Leo. But,
I'm going Leo.
Leo. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna go Leo also. Hurts me to see Harrison Ford go, but Leo's the guy to vote for here. All right. Samuel L. Jackson emerged victorious in his battle against Bradley Cooper in that first round, and so did Tom Cruise in his matchup against Jake Gyllenhaal. So both guys expected to move forward based on their rankings. So this week we're gonna have Samuel L. Jackson versus crazy man Tom Cruise. Jumping on a couch, Tom Cruise.
That's interesting.
It is a very intense, intense conversation here.
I think you could have seen any combination in this next round from those 4 actors.
Sure.
I fully expected Jake Gyllenhaal or Bradley Cooper to pull an upset. I'm surprised they didn't. But both Sam Jackson and Tom Cruise are beloved classic actors and are still going strong today. So that's why they were ranked so high. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, Sam's a legend.
I think Samuel L. Jackson was just too much for Bradley Cooper to overcome. I thought that
right now, yeah.
I thought potentially Gyllenhaal was going to take down Tom Cruise just because of the fact that there's people that just don't like Tom Cruise because he's a little crazy, the Scientology stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when it all boils down to it, that people voted with who's the better actor, action films and whatnot. Gyllenhaal has a great resume on his own, but I think Tom Cruise was the guy. I mean, the right guy to win this match.
And they probably voted more based off who has the more entertaining movies. I mean, Gyllenhaal is great, like he's a monster. But Tom, it's just Tom is like a must. Any movie he does is like a must go to the theater and experience and see.
The best.
You're not going for the acting; you're going for the entertainment. Yeah.
Look, everybody has an actor or actress that just bugs the living hell out of them for no reason, and that's the Gyllenhaal for me.
Really?
Gyllenhaal.
I don't know what it is. He bugs the living crap out of me. And
you don't like Donnie Darko? Come on, man.
I accepted him in Spider-Man because it's a Marvel movie, but there's something about him. I didn't even believe. I mean, I like Jarhead a lot too, but I'm like, come on, that dude's not that tough.
What about Nightcrawler?
Give me a break with this guy. And I don't like his sister either. I think his sister's the reason the Dark Knight Returns sucks so bad.
Tim hates the whole family.
That movie. Now with the Gyllenhaals.
Gyllenhaal's got to go down. You didn't like Nightcrawler?
Down with the Gyllenhaals.
I haven't seen Nightcrawler. I'll be honest. I have not seen that one yet. And my friend keeps telling me to watch that one.
Yeah, check. I love Nightcrawler.
It's hard for me to put a Gyllenhaal movie on, though. That's the whole point.
Prisoners.
It's that first step, getting to put the movie on.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I didn't vote for him.
I mean that's true. They're just actors and actresses that you just can't stand for whatever reason. Exactly. And I have a few.
The Gyllenhaal siblings are on my list right there.
The whole family's on the list. All right, let's start cruising.
Listen, earlier today.
I see what you did there.
See that? Sorry, Kyle. Go ahead with that thought.
No, earlier today. I'm going to say Jake Gyllenhaal to me, I think, is the best actor currently coming up right now. I think this guy's about to dominate Hollywood. He's the next DiCaprio to me. And like I just had Spider-Man: Far From Home was on the TV earlier today, and he's easily the best part. Just say like, get this stupid cape off me, and he's saying fire all the drones. That's my favorite part of the movie. It's anything Jake Gyllenhaal says. So I love him, but
it's revealed the true identity of Spider-Man. I can't forgive that. I'm not voting.
Spoilers.
Oh, stop.
No, I watched it today too, and again, he doesn't bother me because it's a Marvel movie, and I'm obsessed with those movies. But I mean, he might get a break if his sister. No. He might get a break from me one day.
All right, love you too, Jader. Jader's out. All right, all right. So who we got? Quick round robin. Tom Cruise, Samuel L. Jackson.
Sam. I'm taking Sam Jackson.
I won't know. I won't know till I'm ready. But as of right now, I'm probably going to lean towards Sam Jackson.
Same.
Maybe. I don't know yet.
I'm going Sam Jackson.
I'm going Sam too. I love Tom, but Sam is just too legendary.
There we go. All right. Next up, Anthony Hopkins knocked out Paul Rudd in the first round. That hurt Kyle's soul.
Sorry, Kyle.
Bizarre matchup.
That was weird.
I was surprised that actually happened.
Hello, Clarice. So, all right. So Anthony Hopkins advanced, and then Brad Pitt took care of Mark Ruffalo in that first round. So it's interesting matchup of different generational actors here. Anthony Hopkins and Brad Pitt. So a 3 seed in Brad Pitt. Anthony Hopkins is a 6 seed. All right, who we got thinking in here? Who we thinking of going here?
Brad's about to put a whooping on Hopkins.
Brad Pitt was also a guy who I didn't really like, but I don't know if it was more that I didn't like him or that I was just jealous of all the girls talking about him.
Probably both.
A little bit of both.
I've got an article on the site on saying that I think Brad Pitt's the most underrated actor in Hollywood just because of he was the number one paparazzi guy out there. The cameras always followed him. People knew him more for his stardom than his actual acting. And his actual acting is some of the best out there. You can go back right now in your quarantine and rewatch stuff like Fight Club and see how great he is in that. He steals the scene. He steals the movie. And then you have stuff like Curious Case of Benjamin Button, which people don't like that much, but he's amazing in it. And even as recently just won the Oscar for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah, Snatch, Seven, just so even Meet Joe Black, he's good in. So I think Brad Pitt took care of Mark Ruffalo pretty handily. I'm pretty sure it was the second biggest blowout of this entire first round behind the next matchup we're about to get to. And I think that momentum is going to carry him way past Hopkins in this next round.
Okay.
I voted for Ruffalo because I felt bad for him because he was I really did. I clicked. I said, look how bad he's getting beat. I got to click on Ruffalo just to give him a shot. But yeah, I mean, Brad is Brad. What are you gonna do? Again, he's pretty, but he is a damn good actor. Fight Club is one of those movies you can watch over and over and over and over. Never gets tired, never gets boring, and you see little things, little nuances every time you watch on how good he was in that movie. Ed Norton too, of course.
Yeah.
But
how old is he now? And he's still pretty.
It's in his 50s, right?
Son of a bitch.
Yeah,
Son of a
he's
bitch.
in his early 50s,
money.
I think.
It's all money. Oh, J-Lo's 50. Look how good she looks. Money. That's why they all look good.
All right. All right, Bert, you got Pitt?
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't mention Moneyball. That's another really good performance for him.
Exactly.
I could watch Moneyball over and over and over again. I love Moneyball.
I love that movie.
One of the movies that I want to, I was going through my collection. I'm starting to sell off my Blu-rays, and I'm just doing this to digital. I don't know if you guys know that feature on Vudu. They do disc to digital. You scan the barcode on the Blu-ray movie, and then you pay $2, and it goes from disc to digital, and then I just sell them off. And so I'm looking through my Blu-rays yesterday to see which ones I could watch with my son. I wish I could watch 42 with my son, but it's just too much certain. All right, let's move it along. Facebook user, no one cares, Steve. Show yourself. It's a Peterson. I guarantee you. Click that link. Click the StreamYard link and show yourself. Don't be a coward. All right.
Peterson should know that by now.
What was that?
Shouldn't Peterson know that by now?
Look, there's a whole clan. Some are smarter than others. It's not very even keeled. One lives in Australia with no internet and fires in the backyard. Koala bears trying to break into the house, trying to escape the fire. So I don't know. Can koala bears get the coronavirus? Interesting. Let's talk through that. Matt Damon.
It's a great discussion. Glad we're having
it.
Matt Damon took out Sylvester Stallone. Sly is gone. And so Matt Damon's going to face the 2 seed. Might have been one of the ones that you were talking about vying for a number 1 seed. Denzel, who beat Chris Hemsworth, 2 versus 15 seed. And so it's Matt Damon and Denzel Washington. I have Denzel because he is one of my favorite actors. I love Matt Damon too. This matchup sucks, but I'm going with Denzel.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Matt
Damon was the biggest blowout of the first round. He beat Stallone by like 27-2 or something like that. It was crazy. I didn't expect that at all. I love Matt Damon. I thought Matt Damon was better than Christian Bale in Ford v Ferrari. He just the quiet everyday man that Matt Damon's always able to put on in every movie he's in. That's a tough thing to do. That's why people love him so much, is because he's so relatable in every movie. So that's why I love him. But you're going up against Denzel Washington, who is in the competition for one of the greatest actors ever. So if people are going to vote who they want to vote for, we also need some more diversity in this, because a lot of you guys have voted out all the black people to start this. I made sure I had diversity in there, but people decided against it. Lupita and Octavia got knocked out in the play-in rounds, and Jamie Foxx too. So that's something. So I'm going to vote Denzel.
Yeah, that's the reason why I wanted Bert on this broadcast. So,
hilarious.
All right, so the coward that is commenting, that is Mikey.
Yeah, you were close.
Okay.
And Eric,
So you were close.
Eric Zant, I knew it was a Peterson. Eric Zant, one of the hosts of the Just Too Sweet show. I can see you because I'm watching. I'm looking here to see who is commenting. But if you just hit the StreamYard link at the description, then I can see that you're Eric Zant. But I do know that you're Eric Zant. All right. So are we all going Denzel here? All right.
Denzel, no doubt.
All right, let's move it along to the women's bracket. We spent 50 minutes on the men's bracket, and in typical fashion, we're going to spend a lot less time on the women's bracket. Sorry. It's what it is, guys.
Speak for yourself.
Hey, look, we wanted to have, we want the diversity. Nardo, Gia, you're free to come on the shows. The invite gets sent out. It gets posted in our personal side group chat. You guys are more than welcome to join. Diversity. Bert, you might have to come on with a wig next time. I don't know what's gonna happen then. All right, let's go to the women's side, and you're gonna have to help me with the handwriting on this one, right. Kyle. Meryl Streep comes out of the first round, and who is she facing in the next week's round?
Judi Dench.
Judi Dench. That definitely it looked like Ichiro Suzuki to me. Sorry, Judi Dench.
Ichiro Suzuki.
So this one kind of reflects the 1-9 matchup at the top left of the other side of the bracket with Tom Hanks, Al Pacino. It's two older actresses who are some of the best who've ever done it in this entire Hollywood. So, but to me, this is clear cut. Meryl Streep's the best actress to ever live, and I think she should easily move on.
All right, so Meryl Streep for me is, she's a great actress. I'm just tired of seeing her.
That's the whole point.
Oh, man.
She thinks she's done. She comes back with another great movie.
She just keeps on coming back.
It doesn't go away. But
and gets nominated.
Ichiro's a much better hitter, though.
All right, so Timmy, you going Meryl Streep on this one?
Gotta go Meryl.
Bert, real quick.
Yeah.
I'm going Meryl.
All right. I'm going to go Meryl also. Tired of seeing her, but I'll see her in the next round. All right. I know exactly who Tim's going for in this one. All right. So Natalie Portman moves forward from her round. Who is that? That she faced?
She is facing Brie Larson, the 12th.
No, who did she beat in the first round?
Oh, Natalie Portman beat Florence Pugh.
Florence Pugh. Okay, I thought that was it. And then Brie Larson beat Nicole Kidman, and that Nicole Kidman, Tim, is one of those for me that ain't gonna get my vote. So it is what it is on that one. So I know you despise Brie Larson. You think she's boring, white bread. We've had this conversation a lot. So I know that you're going Natalie Portman, and so what about you, Bert?
Natalie Portman's been kind of annoying me as of late, so I'm gonna go Brie Larson.
Come on.
Why is she annoying you?
Come on, Bert.
Not where her acting. It's just the stuff that she's been like. I don't want to get too political on here, but the stuff she's been doing, like when she was at the Oscars, they put all the female directors on her thing, but then her production company hasn't had a female directed movie or production, so it's kind of like, kind of being a hypocrite. But I'll digress. But like I said, I think right now in terms of relevancy, I think Brie Larson is a little more relevant than Natalie Portman, regardless. So
okay, what about you, Kyle?
It'd be interesting to see if we conduct this 2 years in the future to see what our relevancy thing is at again, because Natalie Portman's going to be in the next Thor movie, so it's going to be weird to see how that turns out. But I really like Brie Larson. I think she's one of the better advocates out there for, if you want to talk about politics. Yeah, Natalie Portman's got everything, but Brie Larson's got her head out there supporting women all over. She's always doing these advocacy things for it. So, and she's also a nerd like us. She loves Star Wars. She loves being part of Marvel, and she also puts on great performances, just like Natalie Portman does. Her performance in Room, I'll put up against any of these other performances. I think Brie Larson's fantastic. So I'm going to vote Brie Larson in this one, and see how she takes on Meryl Streep. That's going to be fun.
Meryl.
All right. We're
not there yet.
I'm really on the fence here, but I am gonna go with and I'm not giving an explanation. I'm going with Natalie Portman. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Next round. It was Viola Davis. This was a good matchup in the first round. I thought. I don't remember if she ran away with it or not, but Viola Davis versus Toni Colletti. Who did you? What was the score on this one? What was it? What was the total?
It was something like 17-15 or
It
something.
was really close, right?
It was
So,
really close.
Yeah, it was a 6 seed versus an 11 seed. And then it was Jessica Chastain versus
Rachel Weisz.
Rachel Weisz. Okay, so Jessica Chastain came out of that. She was 3 seed, 14 seed. I think that was a pretty decent runaway.
No. That one is actually pretty close.
Really?
Yes. People like Rachel Weisz. I think The Mummy is what's carried her through this. People really liked her in the Mummy franchise.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so now we got a real good matchup here in Viola Davis and Jessica Chastain. Here, I don't know, Kyle, if we're gonna vote the way that you said that we should vote in the other one to keep a certain group alive in the in the rankings here. But Bert, who you got?
I got Viola Davis just for her one scene in Doubt, which is like even before she became bigger than how she is now. So
you cut out.
I mean, for me, Jessica Chastain, like
you cut out with the one scene, Viola Davis, the one scene from which movie?
From Doubt.
Okay,
back in like 2007. Yeah, but I was saying, because Viola for me personally has more memorable roles. Because Chastain, like, she's really good, but she only has like maybe one or two movies that really stick out. Like, she has a thing where it's like you watch a movie, you're like, oh yeah, she's in this. I forgot. Because you don't really remember her that she's bad, just that the movie doesn't necessarily pop the way that something that Viola Davis does. Because she puts she's for me, like, with the acting is on another level between them. So,
okay,
go on, Miss Davis.
Timmy, who you got?
Yeah, I'm going Viola Davis also. Jessica Chastain, unfortunately, has Dark Phoenix on the brain right now. And I don't know to escape from that. Talk about white bread. Whoa, my goodness. That was a whole loaf of white bread right there. That was terrible. Terrible. But, I mean, she was good in Zero Dark 30. I liked her in that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Viola Davis, she's just a much better actress. So I'm going with her.
Yeah. So Zero Dark 30 was actually the very first movie that we gave passes to. Advanced screening.
Not us.
Not New York.
Wow.
I don't know. Look, the guy from New York just disappeared. He's like he doesn't respond to me anymore. And we clearly filled the theater up. The last movie that we did in New York was Thor Ragnarok, and nothing since then. And we like the waiting list for that movie. Even though we only got like 20, 25 passes for that because it's a big movie, so they got to kind of spread those around. But the wait list, he came back to me and he said, the wait list is 75% CineSportsTalk. I said, yeah, well, the army is strong. And then nothing.
Yeah.
Every time, he'll email me every now and then, and we'll talk through some stuff, and just nothing ever comes up. Maybe after this coronavirus thing's over, get back in his ear. Fill a theater, guys. We do that. All right, so I'm going Viola Davis too. I just wish she could stop the stream from her nose when she cries. She cries in every movie, and it's just too much stuff happening. Too much mucus going.
I'm gonna disagree.
That's when you know it's serious, man.
I know, but it's just like
when the snot's coming out. That's when you know it's serious.
I'm gonna disagree with you guys. I'm going Jessica Chastain here.
You racist bastard.
Jessica Chastain. Hey, listen. I would have gone Lupita, but you guys didn't even let her have a shot. Jessica Chastain. I've got Molly's Game on the mind. I think that's one of the most grossly overlooked movies of these past couple of years, and she carries that.
Yeah.
And then Zero Dark 30, like you mentioned. Viola Davis is probably one of the best actresses working today, and it's hard to go against that. But just personal preference, I think Chastain is on a great level, both in popularity wise and acting wise. I'm gonna go Chastain here.
All right, cool. All right, let's move it along to America's Sweetheart, Sandra Bullock. And I'm gonna say that she is another Nicole Kidman for me. I'm in the big time minority here. I'm not a big Sandra Bullock fan.
No, I'm with that too, Steve.
Okay, all right. So I'm not alone. And
like
then Reese Witherspoon.
Ugh.
Whoa, harsh.
Whoa.
It's mostly because who she beat, which is the biggest BS thing that I've seen so far. You guys are nuts. But
she beat Amy Adams.
We should be talking about Amy Adams versus Saoirse Ronan right now, but we're not. Because some people voted Sandra Bullock and Reese Witherspoon.
Oh,
Get out of here, man. Reese barely even made the tournament. Amy Adams is one of the best actresses working today. Arrival is one of the best movies ever made, and she carries that thing. You can go with things like American Hustle.
True.
And what was the other David O. Russell movie she was in?
American Hustle. Yeah, I liked American Hustle, but there were a lot of.
I love American Hustle. Yeah.
American Hustle. A lot of people were like so white bread.
You're talking about the fighter, Kyle.
The fighter, yes, yeah. It's just to me every movie, or even Doubt, the one you mentioned earlier. Amy Adams is great in that movie too.
Yeah.
So she was easy. She was the 2 seed in this tournament because I thought she was the next America's Sweetheart. I thought everyone loved her. She's like the DiCaprio for the females. She's the one that has so many Oscar nominations but never wins for some reason, and she's gonna get hers one day. How does Reese Witherspoon beat Amy Adams? Like, I would understand if Viola Davis was against her or Brie Larson, but Reese Witherspoon, you maniac.
His voice.
You're so mad right now.
Reese Witherspoon.
You're so upset right now.
You got to make that out.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to.
The morning show that good for you guys?
The morning show is great. Look, I'm going to clip that out.
You got to clip that. Reese Witherspoon.
Yes. I'm going to clip that. I'm going to put that on the CineSportsTalk YouTube channel, which you need to go and subscribe to if you want advance notice of advanced screenings in your area once those come back and the social distancing thing is over. But I'm going to clip that, and I'm going to put why does Kyle hate Reese Witherspoon? Why? And I'm going to tag her. I'm going to add her on Twitter. She's going to respond saying,
at Amy Adams too. I'm defending Amy. I'm chasing Amy.
Chasing Amy. You got there before I did. You got there, and that's what she said. All right. All right. So, who are we voting for? I obviously Kyle's not voting Reese Witherspoon. So, Who's everybody else voting for? Tim.
Wait. This is Sandra versus Reese.
Sandra Bullock versus. Is it Sandra or Sandra? That name irritates me.
I'm going Reese.
You're going Reese. Bert?
Yeah. Over Sandra.
Why are you asking
what
this
has
question?
Sandra Bullock been doing lately?
Speed 74.
She did.
Ocean's 8 and Bird Box. What are you guys talking
Bird
about?
Box.
You ever seen Bird Box?
Don't come at me with Bird Box. For those of you just joining, if you are watching in a group, go ahead and hit the StreamYard link in the description and then authorize the app. This way I can see who is saying what. Right now I can say somebody just used the C word in there, and I can pretty much bet who it is.
I saw that too. It's crazy.
It's one of my favorite words. I won't say it on air, though. So if you click that, then we can see exactly who you are, and we can clearly say what you're saying. Bird Box was terrible. Writes Facebook coward user. All right, I am going with Reese Witherspoon as well. Here, I'm sorry to break your heart, Kyle.
Crazy.
I'm not a Bullock fan. I'm not a Sandra Bullock fan. That's it.
Looks amazing. All right, never mind. Next matchup. Also, shout out to Saoirse Ronan. She's the next Jodie Foster. You got like 4 Oscar nominations. She's 24 years old. I mean, that's insane.
Already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who did? Oh, Sandra Bullock beat her. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mention. Well, we spent an inordinate amount of time talking about Amy Adams. So, all right, let's move on.
All the Little Women got knocked out in the first round.
Let's move on. The biggest upset, the 1 seed out. Kate Blanchett out. Jennifer Lawrence whooped her, right?
No, it was close, but it was also.
I'm
wow.
misremembering some of the matchups here and who got a whoop and who didn't. But so then Regina King versus Anne Hathaway, that was a pretty even matchup based on seeds. 8 versus 9 seed. Anne Hathaway moved on to face Jennifer Lawrence as a 16 seed. Pretty even keeled matchup here as far as what I think is I think it's gonna be a pretty even matchup. You're gonna see maybe a little bit, inching up here and there and bowling. But who do you guys think is gonna win? Well, who are you guys gonna vote for?
I mean,
I'm gonna vote for Anne Hathaway.
All right, Timmy.
Jennifer Lawrence.
All right, Kyle.
Can we talk about why Kate Blanchett's not in this round? What's going on here, guys? Kate Blanchett's the 1 seed. She's probably the Meryl Streep of her generation right now. I mean, do people not like Kate Blanchett? Do they not know who she is? It doesn't make sense to me. Anyways,
who was she? Who was she up against?
She was up against Jennifer Lawrence.
You see, I think with that, it's with popularity again. Because like Kate Blanchett's an excellent actress, but a lot of her movies, it's like you kind of don't really instantly remember. But Jennifer Lawrence, I mean, people remember her movies, Hunger Games, X-Men, even though she did horrible in those, and American Hustle and stuff like that. But I think with that case, it's just popularity.
Lawrence. I thought she had a lot of hate going her way, Jennifer Lawrence, recently. These people were tired of the Hunger Games and the X-Men. She doesn't show up in movies. I can't say the same for Kate Blanchett. Kate Blanchett shows up in every movie she's in, and it's usually pretty amazing. Yeah. Even Thor Ragnarok, I thought she kind of stole the show. So I'm going to vote. I think Jennifer Lawrence is a great actress.
I thought you were getting upset because of Thor Ragnarok, and that's the one that like pushed you over the top. So Michelle Fernandez, who is she? Kate Blanchett.
Well, there it is, right there. I think Jennifer Lawrence is a great actress when she shows up to actually act. She actually has a good one coming out. I think they said this year or next year. I'm not sure, but I'm going to take Anne Hathaway. I think Anne Hathaway is a lot of fun, and she stole the show for me in Ocean's 8 over Sandra Bullock and Kate Blanchett.
So good, yeah.
I'm going to go Anne Hathaway on this now.
Kyle, what did you think about Where'd You Go, Bernadette?
I thought it was a boring movie, but she was great in it. I thought Kate Blanchett went on another level in that one too. Where she was just this damaged woman who was struggling and trying to find someone who would actually listen to her, but no one understood her. She just needed her space. And I thought Kate Blanchett really brought that. But again, no one saw that movie. So that's another reason why Kate Blanchett's not in this round, I guess.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I thought the movie was dull, but I thought she was her usual self.
Yeah.
All right. So all that being said, I'm gonna go with Anne Hathaway on this one for the moment. All right, we're ready to move on to the next female matchup here. And in the opening round, we got Emily Blunt, who is the number 5 seed, against Kate Winslet, who is the number 12 seed. The one that let Leo die. There was plenty of room, guys. Plenty of room. Don't change my mind on that. Plenty of room. And then she goes up against. So as Emily Blunt beat her, she goes up against Charlize Theron, who bested Michelle Williams in the first round. I think no surprises here in who won. Now this is a pretty even matchup here. Charlize Theron and Emily Blunt. What's your take on this, Bert?
This is actually probably the toughest matchup we've had yet, because they're both at the top of their game right now. They both have very popular films, respectively. And I think I really can't choose right now because that's hard.
To me, this is easy. I'm going Emily Blunt. I think Emily Blunt is just one of the all-around best people in Hollywood today. She's a joy. She's the picture of like the family that we want to be a part of in Hollywood. Her and John Krasinski are one of the best couples out there, and she puts on amazing performances every single time.
Yeah.
I think like we were all really looking forward to A Quiet Place 2 because in A Quiet Place 1, she was out of this world where in that bathtub scene, especially. I mean, good God. And that was one take they did that scene in, which is incredible. And then I have the biggest hot take of all. I think she's a better Mary Poppins than Julie Andrews.
Ruben, are you watching?
Yeah.
Let me tag Ruben in this.
Oh no!
Make sure.
Emily Blunt deserved an Oscar nomination for Mary Poppins Returns.
You know what? I did not get through Mary Poppins Returns. I
what?
tried to watch. Am I alone in this? I tried watching it at home, and at one point, me and my wife just looked at each other. I was like, I'm done right now. Can't do it anymore.
Is it the same?
I'll give it another shot. It might have been just that I was tired. It was a little later on in the evening. It was probably a Friday night. Friday night is my tired time. That's the way it is. Except for now these days, I have no idea if it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. All right, so yeah, you got The Quiet Place, Mary Poppins Returns for those that love that movie. And if you go back a few years, you got Sicario, you got
Looper.
Tomorrow, you got Looper,
Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah, that's going back a few more years.
Yeah.
All right, so I know you spoke a lot about it, Kyle. Bert, we went with you. Tim, who you got here? Emily Blunt, Charlize Theron.
Emily Blunt, absolutely. There's something about her. She sucks you in. She's super nice. She's super sweet. And I'm praying, like you said, favorite couple. They're my second favorite celebrity couple. Her and John Krasinski, behind Nick Offerman and Megan Mullally. They're my favorite couple. But I pray that the rumors are true and that she's going to play Sue Storm to John Krasinski's Mr. Fantastic in a Fantastic Four movie. That would be the ultimate casting. I think that would be phenomenal. I'm definitely going with Emily Blunt.
Yeah. It's I'm going to go with Emily Blunt too, although Charlize Theron, I don't know if you guys saw Tully, Long Shot. Kyle, you love Long Shot. So I mean this like Atomic Blonde, depending on, I know there were a lot of harsh critics on that. Some loved it, I loved it or hated it. Type flick. So
Fury Road, Furiosa.
Yeah, right. So it's just a very even matchup, I think, and it's just going to come down to, did you like Emily Blunt's movies a little bit better, or did you like Charlize Theron's movies a little bit better? So I'm going to go with Emily Blunt on this one. Next up, this is going to be one hell of a matchup. Telling you right now, this is like the pay-per-view matchup on the women's side right now. Emma Stone took out Laura Dern in the first round. She's a 6 seed. And then Margot Robbie, as a 3 seed, took out Emma Thompson as a 14 seed. So it's Emma Stone versus Margot Robbie. This is worthy of a women's final matchup, in my opinion. This is going to be rough for me. Going to let you know, and I'm not even going to talk about it right now. I'm going to send this right down there to Bert.
Margot Robbie.
Yes.
All right, gut instinct. Kyle, I had a feeling that you were going Margot Robbie. Tim, who you got?
Yeah, I don't see the competition that you're saying. I think it's a no-brainer. I think it's Margot Robbie all the way.
Okay. So, quick story here. When Emma Stone was just getting into the business here, Scott and I reached out to her on Facebook, and we spoke to her for a little bit. And it was like a 3-week thing where we were having conversations with Emma Stone, and then it just blew up for her. And then, who's Steven Scott? Who are these guys? Never heard from her again. So for that reason,
so you shouldn't be voting for her then.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm talking myself into it. I was gonna go Margot Robbie anyway, but I just talked myself into a deeper Margot Robbie vote. So Margot Robbie's got my vote 100% now.
I got kind of like a connection for Margot Robbie because I think my favorite article that I've ever written for the site was my hot take on why I think Margot Robbie is the most fascinating actress working today. And so everything she puts out, she's the best thing. And you look at even something as bad as Suicide Squad. Harley Quinn's amazing in that movie because of her. And then Birds of Prey just came out, and that was all her leading the charge to make that movie. And that movie was so much fun. And then you look at something like I, Tonya, which is just on another. She goes to another level in that film and puts it all out there. She learned how to ice skate for it and was really pushing to get it made by her production company, and it turned out great. And then you go all the way back when we first discovered her. Look at Wolf of Wall Street. She goes out of her way she really grabbed our attention with Wolf of Wall Street because Martin knew how to use her, and we saw a lot. And then she now most recently worked with Quentin Tarantino and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Great in that film as well. And then
wait. Tim's gonna disagree with you on this one.
Well, I got one more. And Bombshell that just came out. I thought she was
Bombshell was great.
Bombshell. So to me, is easily Margot Robbie in this round. I think Emma Stone maybe 2 years ago she wins this, but not anymore.
Yeah, Tim, what are your thoughts on Margot Robbie and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
I don't want to watch someone watch a movie for 30 minutes. I just don't. I don't care. I don't care how good looking she looks or she has her sexy little feet up on the chair. I'm watching someone watch a movie for 30 minutes.
It's not about that. It's about Sharon Tate seeing herself in the theater, just being so pure, and what we should be thinking when we see that. Which is
then why
how
don't I
much.
watch Brad Pitt make a whole entire drive?
I'll give you that.
His entire drive home. I don't want to see his entire. See, I'm telling you, you cut half an hour off that movie, and it's probably one of the greatest movies ever made.
Well, that's Tarantino, but like in the first like 8 minutes of Hateful Eight is just the horse carriage walking towards the camera. That's like the first 7 or 8 minutes of the movie. But that's how we roll here. All right. So this is a clear. You think she's gonna run away with it, or do you think that the CST Army is gonna hold this one close? No. Okay.
It's gonna be close. You got your La La Landers out there.
But where's Emma Stone though? Where's she been lately? La La Land's the last thing she's done, no?
No, she's been in other stuff. What was The Favorite last year? She got nominated for an Oscar for that just last year.
The Favorite.
I don't think she put out a movie this past year though. I think she was in that TV show with Jonah Hill on Netflix. I forget that Maniac, I think it was called.
Manic, I think.
Something like that. No one really watched it though. And
Zombieland.
Zombieland, that's it. Another plain movie. But she's got a reunion with Damien Chazelle coming up next year with Brad Pitt, which is going to be super interesting. But right now, she does not beat Margot Robbie at all.
Yeah.
You know what really annoyed me? Movie 43.
Oh, gosh.
That was brutal.
One of the worst movies ever made.
Brutal. It's 5% on Rotten Tomatoes. Not worth talking about. All right, let's move it along. Final matchup on the women's side, and we can wrap things up a little bit here. It's going to be Scarlett Johansson beat out
Frances McDormand.
Yep. Got it. All right. So she took out. She was a 10 seed. McDormand was number 7 seed on that side. And then help me out here, Kyle.
Helen Mirren beat Tessa Thompson.
I saw it. Yeah, Tessa Thompson. That was a close one, no?
Yeah, it was a little close. It was the poll was up there for a little bit. Usually, I like to call the ones that are blowouts, and the Helen Mirren, Tessa Thompson was up there for quite a bit.
I feel like Stu Gatz. I'm like wrong on the blowout versus the close ones here. All right. All right. So who you got, Bert?
What were the choices again?
ScarJo Mirren.
Oh, ScarJo.
Okay.
ScarJo, and it's not even close.
ScarJo, not close. All right. Kyle, who you got?
This is one of the ones where this is one of my mistakes when I was making the seedings, because I kind of just her name was so far down the list when I was going back and forth making the seedings. Scarlett Johansson should be seated way higher, and I think that's the reason why she took out McDormand so easily. And I think she's going to do the same thing here to Helen Mirren. Helen Mirren's a great actress, and she's a lot of fun. She's still doing great at her age, but Scarlett is way more relevant right now. And I made a mistake on the seating there, but I think Scarlett's even going to move on.
Yeah, this is. I think this is destined for blowout.
Yeah,
mark my words. ScarJo's going to win this one. All right, that wraps up this next round in our brackets, actors and actresses. So make sure you go out there and vote. Register to vote. So you don't have to register to vote. Just vote. Just be in the group and vote. We got 4,500 plus members, and we're getting 45 tops on the votes.
Yeah,
that's nothing. That's 1%.
Yeah, get out there.
1% is voting. I don't want to hear anybody who didn't vote say, "I wanted ScarJo to win the whole thing," and she just didn't win.
You're all quarantined. Like, what? You go on Facebook every day. Just float in these polls. It takes a second.
You're not doing nothing else.
Yes.
Look here. You're playing video games. You're watching TV. You're doing something I'm not going to mention on here. You're
watching Tiger King.
You're watching Tiger King. I just got with episode 2 of Tiger King, and I want to end it. I don't want to go anymore. I don't want to do this to myself anymore. Tim, have you watched it?
But it's so good.
I haven't watched it yet. I have too much stuff to watch. Too much stuff to watch.
It's so much. But Tiger King is so far out there. It's like, what am I watching right now? So I'm through episode 2.
I know enough white trash people that I can wait a little while to watch it.
Wow. And then, I know people have stopped watching after the first episode. I know people that are, my sister-in-law is saying, stick with it. It's going to get better. It's dramatic. It's intense. After that, so it's 7 episodes. I'm gonna continue watching. I'm gonna stick with this. Told my wife, I said, I don't know if I could do this anymore, and she said, no, I want to watch more of it. I want to, we're invested 2 episodes in. I'm like, cut my losses or continue on watching it. Kyle, have you watched the whole thing?
I haven't watched a single episode. I have other, as we've talked before, I have other TV shows I should probably be watching.
Holy shit! Yes, Entourage, bro. Like, you will love Entourage. I don't know how many times I gotta tell you, you will love Entourage.
Watch Entourage?
No,
nope, never seen Entourage. I gotta see season 3 of Ozark. That's the next one I gotta do. That just started.
So that's another thing. So last night I wanted to start watching Ozark, and my wife wanted to watch another episode of this Tiger Jackass. So that's what I wanted to watch.
And you lose.
Exactly.
And then after that, they just took over the TV from me last night, and they just started watching Moana.
Well,
it's Moana.
That's the only good thing about being alone.
Yes, like I could watch anything I damn well pleased, and then forget about it. It's a technical foul if you get up and walk out and go start watching something else in another room. That's a technical foul. All right, that'll do it for us for this episode of Shootin' the Shit. Hope you enjoyed it. We talked through the entire bracket, who came to the first round, now in the second round. Next week's episode will be slightly shorter. We'll shoot for a Friday, Saturday type thing again, where we'll talk about the winners and losers of the next round. If you don't vote Tom Hanks over Al Pacino, I'm kicking you out of the group. That's the mood I'm in right now. I'm a Tom Hanks mood right now. They just got home. To get they were in Australia fighting coronavirus and fires, and those giant damn spiders that you always see over there. So, vote for Tom Hanks. Any closing remarks? Let's go clockwise here. Let's go, Kyle.
Yeah, so make sure you guys are voting. That's the number one thing. I'm going to post a bracket on the Facebook page probably tomorrow morning, so that you guys can take a look at the matchups after you've listened to us and kind of see where the brackets are heading. Maybe you want to fill out your own bracket and tell us who you think is going to be in the final round, your final 4. let us know. Also, we're gonna have a top 10 coming soon. You guys need to get your list in as soon
I
as
will have my
possible.
list in soon.
All right.
Promise.
But otherwise, yeah, this has been filling the void of March Madness for me, getting these polls up there and then checking them out throughout the day. So yeah, I'm having fun doing this, guys, and I hope you guys are too.
All right, Bert, any final thoughts?
Well, definitely. Stay safe out there. Vote. If you can't vote, you know what that means. You got to join the group. And yeah, just stay safe out there. Keep on watching because we're going to be kicking out this content during this quarantine. So,
Yep, lots of videos, lots of shows. Timmy,
Vote, and don't forget Just Too Sweet coming up, and all the other shows. Keep watching, and I just want to say thank you guys because this really helps because I literally am alone and it sucks.
yes. I look. This is as much for us as for you guys because we're I mean, all of us are doing. It's getting repetitive. Me, I wake up, have breakfast, play with the bigger kid, spend some time with my wife and my other kid, my new little guy. Then I go for a walk, get some fresh air, come in, think of ideas. What show should we do next? Think of what should go up on the network. Think of what should go up on the group. What should I watch tonight? And I get stuck. I can't watch Ozark. I'm hoping that changes tonight. But in closing, just like everybody said, vote. And then follow us all over social media. If you're watching right now, you're in the group or you're on the fan page at CineSportsTalk.com is the fan page. The CineSportsTalk group minus the .com. That's the group. You got the Just Too Sweet show fan page on Facebook. And you have the CineSports Talk Wrestling Federation. That's the group. And then you got the Put in the Books group, the Put in the Groups fan page, all that good stuff. You can follow us on, subscribe to us on YouTube at CineSports Talk. It's at CineSports Talk everywhere. So you see the spelling right down there. Bert, or Tim, you're closest. Point out the spelling of CineSports Talk right there. Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook. Everywhere you can imagine, just follow us. And then, of course, the CineSports Talk Radio Network, the audio version of all of our shows go there. And then you can watch this show whenever you damn well please. If you couldn't watch it live, you can watch it tomorrow, tonight, throughout the week. And we'll talk to you next time. We'll probably do another couple of shooting the shits during the week. We've got to fill our sports void, too. So we'll talk how much the Dallas Cowboys suck. I'm sorry. Did I say what? Who put that on the cue card? Who put that on the cue card? All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Peace out, everybody.
Peace.
Essential.